Good afternoon, everyone. In today's Instagram live interview, I'm live with Ballaleshwar Tela, sir, who's the author of the book The Delusions. So, first, I would like to introduce our author, and he has worked as in corporate for more than a decade, and then he started his academic teaching and tutoring, and he also coaches tennis and chess to the young players in his hometown Umarkhand, Maharashtra. And today we are going to discuss about his book, The Delusion. Sir, first I want to say that is there something that you want to tell your readers about yourself?
Yes, I would like to tell some things I'm a science graduate, and then I did MBA. That is, I got a degree in marketing management. But always I have this urge to do something creative, to do something that is original, and that's why, though I tried mathematics and physics, this
Hello.
inspiration in literature by writing poems.
Sir, there's network issue from your side.
Are you not able to hear me properly?
Yes, sir. Your voice is not clear. There is a network issue.
Actually, I have connected with this Geo broadband, but it should be clear, I think. But I don't know why it's not so clear. The voice is. Disconnect this and try. Now, are you able to hear me properly?
Yes, sir. Now it's clear.
Okay, so I was telling you that I did BSc in Physics and Mathematics from Nagpur University, and then I did an MBA from Pune University. And though I worked in corporates, I could not find any satisfaction there. And then I came back to my hometown in Umarkhand. I started an academy for teaching mathematics and training students in table tennis and chess. Okay, and from last 1 year, I was working upon this book, The Delusions, and I wanted to write poetry.
Yes, sir.
And so I wrote some of my experiences, some of my in a chronological way. I mean, in a logical way, but in a poetic form. So this is how it came. And after 40 poems, I was like, I should be publishing it. So I approached Astitva Prakashan, and then Astitva Prakashan told me that these are worthy of publishing, and then yes, then we went on publishing the book.
Okay, sir. So my first question is, what inspired you to write The Delusion?
See, I had these two poems in my school syllabus. The poems are The Lucy Gray by William Wordsworth and
Sir,
Lucy Gray. Are you able to hear
your
me?
voice is buffering from time to time.
Actually, I am.
Uh,
Now is it okay?
yes, sir.
Okay, so William Wordsworth, Lucy Gray, and Stopping by Woods in the Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. These poems I had in my syllabus in my 9th and 10th standard, and I liked those poems, and I always wanted to write something like that. So eventually, I used to read poems here and there on internet or maybe on Facebook, but I never found inspiration to write something of my own. But eventually, then I find some inspiration in these poems, and I then decided that I should write my experiences or maybe my thoughts, my emotions in my poetry, and that's how the delusions become in reality.
Okay. So, what would you describe the central theme of the book?
Central theme is a quest actually. The poems like this book progresses in such a way that first it is about, so there are 8, 9, 10 poems about love, then suffering, then enlightenment, then experiences after enlightenment, and eventually it ends in death. Some poems on death, my experiences with the death. So this is a poetry. Describe it in a single word that this is the theme of this book, but this book collectively is a quest. That is what it can be best described as. And it's anybody's experiences, it matches with that, anybody will be able to relate with it.
Yes, yes, sir. And can you explain the concept of delusions in your poetry?
See, since last 10 years, I was suffering from schizophrenia, which is one of the mental disability. I will not call it disorder or a disease or illness. It is better can be described as a disability in which we get thoughts which are not in real. We find it real. Like I would sometimes think I am from moon, but it's not true. But sometimes I would think it as much as really that I am from alien, something like alien or something like that. And there are so many other type kinds of delusions I used to have. Eventually I got medicines, I got therapy, I got counseling and everything, and then I was cured. But the what I found about this disease, that all my experiences were influenced by this disease. Okay, my all my personal life, my professional life, my careers choices and all this were influenced by this particular character of this disability. And yes, I suffered from that, and I wanted to have some final relation with this uh, uh, particular symptom of this disability.
Okay. So, talking about that, I want to know that how does your personal experience with his schizophrenia influence the poem in the book?
Yes, I have written two poems like The Quest of Life, which is about my disorder and finally getting. See, in this disorder, what happens is that one is unable to believe anything, and whatever one believes, it is wrong. Okay, so some of my poems are written in such a way that they expose my this particular kind of condition and eventual victory over it. Okay, like the quest of life, one of the poem is the quest of life. So it is the quest I ultimately define of the life is that it is faith. Okay, and once we get this faith, we are able to live comfortably with the world. But I was not having any faith or belief in myself, and whatever I was having were delusions, which were wrong beliefs. So ultimately, I found the correct faith, and that's what I called the quest of life, and I eventually won it by getting an enlightenment about this.
Voice is not.
Understanding of things. So I eventually had it. So this is how my experience with this schizophrenia eventually shaped some of my poems.
So your voice and video is not clear.
Pardon me for that, but I'm able to properly hear you and answer your question. I'm quite answering your question quickly. And I don't know why it's such a problem because the internet is good speed. No, I have a good speed
Yes,
internet.
I don't know. So let's continue, sir.
Okay, let's continue. Just continue.
So let me ask you another question.
Hmm.
Your book touches on love, enlightenment, and success. Which
Yes.
of these themes do you find powerful?
Like enlightenment is one of the most powerful concept that I have introduced in this particular book, and it comes in midway in this book. And once it came, everything changes in this book. The flow changes. Like from suffering, I'm going to complete awareness, complete understanding, and I'm experiencing things a new way. I am remembering my old days, and this is how this the central theme in this book is the enlightenment because it changes my life. Well, it goes from suffering to a good understanding and happiness eventually in this particular flow of the book.
Yes, sir. And do you think poetry can also help in the healing process of the mental illness?
Yes, certainly, because the poems are such that they have some kind of emotional response. It causes some kind of emotional response in reader's mind. So, in sometime like in mental disabilities, what happens? People go hopeless and they go meaningless, and they have to have some kind of inspiration. So once they read some good poems, and if they try to write some poems and eventually try to reintegrate their inner being, then there is
Yes.
a positive effect upon their healing. That's how the poetry works upon some mental disabilities, or a disability or illness for that matter.
Okay. And how did you balance the emotional aspects of your journey with the philosophical reflection in the book?
See, in this particular book, like there are poems which are emotional, and there are poems there which are emotional and philosophical both, and there are poems which are purely philosophical. And by balancing everything, this I have tried to create a proper balance in among in these themes.
Yes, sir. And was the biggest poetic influence and how they shaped your work?
Yes, the poetic influence is definitely Robert Frost. Okay, and I have been reading some of its one from quite long time, and I wanted always to write something like him, which is very in modern English. It is his works in is a modern English, and it every time it follows structured point form of poetry. Okay, so they have this rhymings and lyrical thinking in this his poetry, and I tried to follow his ways by writing poems in lyrical and rhyming structures.
And hello.
Hello,
And
yes.
can you share a poem from the Delusions and why it resonates with you?
Okay, so should I recite some poem? One of the poems? Am I?
Yes,
Want to? Yes, yes.
few lines.
So my favorite poem is The Cause of Suffering, like 25th poem it is. And
Yes.
I would like to recite it. It's not 25th, it is 24th. No, not 24th. Let me check.
Hmm.
It is 13th poem, 13th.
Okay.
The cause of suffering. So I have explored the cause of suffering in this particular poem, and it is goes like this. Often I wander in temperate dusk, why people suffer till they dust, and try to know why men grow in sorrow. And I had many or no answers for long, seeking I walked many furlongs, read the prophets and sages of books those lasted for ages. But never did I ask why I suffer, and pondered never inside, being less clever. And then, though I thought far and wide, answer lied in the spirit I realized. I quieted the mind, hoping the answer I could find. To God I missed, the question was answered just. Suffering does exist, but for the disbelief. So this is my one of the my favorite poem. I've explored the cause of suffering, and the solution is that the cause of suffering is disbelief. We have to have some kind of belief system there, and it should eventually work. That's my expectation from the belief system, and definitely it works because it has worked with me and so many.
Okay, sir. And chaos and the meaning in your writing. Am I audible now, sir?
A little bit there's buffering there. Yes, now you are audible, but
So, how do you view the difference between chaos and the and meaning in your writing?
yes, yes, chaos. See, actually, one of my poems is that about this the why Buddha weeps. One of my poems is why Buddha weeps. It is on the page number uh, 59, and this is the 30th poem. So I have explored the topic of selective abortion there, like girls being aborted for not being boy, and that's what I think the main conjecture of this chaos or cause of chaos or a very reason of chaos. So at the time we are living in a time in which we like kids in the worms are being aborted for being of not particular gender. So this is the absolute cause of chaos there. Okay, chaos, and this is cause of meaninglessness in people. I understand that this is a very wrong way of thinking, and people should. I mean, I don't know where they should go back or they should become more modern, but this thing should be avoided at any cost. That's what I think, and this is particular cause thinking me for making me think that there is chaos in the society and inside me. Okay, and that's what I expressed in this particular poem. And about the meaning,
Yes,
I see that everyone desires meaning. Okay, they should have some kind of value in their actions and whatever they are receiving. Though people are doing work, they don't find it valuable. Whatever they receive for their work or for their actions, they don't find it valuable. So it is because they don't have proper understanding of meaning in their life. What exactly they want from life. So if they know from it, then they will have definite understanding of meaning and purpose in their life, and they will have some valuable relationship with the world.
yes, sir. And do you believe that literature, especially poetry, can find order in a chaotic world?
Yes, definitely. Poems have shaped this world. If you read
Yes,
Vedas,
sir.
even if you read like Ramayana, Mahabharata, these are actually poetry. Okay, even in
Yes,
Abrahamic religions like Quran, it is also a poetry. Though people don't know here
yes,
in India, but it is actually a poetry in Arabic. So they have shaped our views about the world. They have shaped about our understanding of the surrounding and environment we are living in. So definitely poetry, because of its instant emotional response and which it
yes,
it causes in a particular reader's mind. That's why poetry is important in ordering the world, I think.
Yes, sir. And how did your background in mathematics and physics influence your approach in writing poetry?
Yes, it's definitely like the mathematics in mathematics and physics. I studied in my graduation, and because I have some kind of this influence of logic on logic to be influenced in my writing. It influenced my writing in such a way that I wanted everything to be logical. So that's why if you observe the poems, they are logical in their sense, and they're complete in their own sense. And even the book is such written in a logical sequence that it moves from one emotion to another emotion, one experience to another experience in logical sequence. So logic, being the core of physics and mathematics, have influenced my poetry.
Okay. And what message would you like readers to take away from your book?
I would like them to have some kind of search in their life, which I have gone through, like spiritual search and search for meaning. And they will have, if they find some answers, okay, which I have found myself, if they find their life will be more meaningful. And this particular book will help them to see an example of somebody who thinks about everything and finally have some point of view about everything and have a positive effect on the reader's mindset. This book have some kind of this positive effect, and this definitely have a combination of logic and emotions both, and that is why this will help people if they in their search for their own answers.
Yes, sir. And in your view, how poetry helps us confront life's apparent meaninglessness?
Yes, see, many philosophers have concluded, like this Nietzsche and uh, Albert Camus, and these philosophers have concluded that the life is meaningless. We have to create our
Yes,
own
sir.
meaning in life. So to people like with some kind of disability or disorder, like mental disability or disorder, if life may appear meaningless, and to other people who don't find meaning in life, they might perceive life as meaningless. But this particularly poetry will have, if they read poetry and they try to compose some poetry, express their thoughts and emotions in poetry, they might find something that is hidden in themselves. That is the meaning. The meaning is hidden in ourselves. We have to find it. We have to let it explore. We have to explore it, and we have to let it express. Let it get expressed through various channels. So poetry is one of the way which I have chosen, and people can have some meaning in sports, maybe in some other ways, in their work, like teaching or engineering or medicine. But we have to have some kind of moral cause in our being, because that is central to our being, having a moral cause. That's the center, and that's why I have, through my poetry, I have tried to explore some of the moral questions in our society.
Okay. And what will be the advice that you'll give to an aspiring poet that are just writing about any kind of poem?
Yes, I have some advices definitely. Like you have to have some role model before writing. Okay, and once you have a role model there, then this you can be inspired by their style of writing, and then you have to have some connection with the world. Like you have to see many things in the world, and they will come back to you as your words in poetry.
Yes. Uh, what is your favorite book and why it's your favorite book?
Favorite?
Wait a minute. So, what is your favorite book and why it is your favorite book?
Yes, my favorite book is no different than the Robert Frost's collection. This is the book, 100 Selected Poems of Robert Frost. Okay, I read it on regular basis. I get inspired by it, I enjoy it, and though I have read it several times, I don't mind opening another time this book and then just start reading any poem there. Though I have read it several times. So this is my favorite book, the 100 selected poems of Robert Frost. This book is from Delhi Open Books, I think. Yes, they have published this book.
Yes, it's kind of a comfort book for you.
Yes, definitely. I find luxury in this book actually.
Yes, sir. And any advice to the people who are suffering from the same kind of illness that you have gone through
Yes,
to keep them strong?
yes, as I have it, but that with, like if you have some trouble with your beliefs and your thought process, then you should contact medical practitioners and get proper medicine and try to find meaning in your life, because life becomes difficult with such a disorder or disability, and you have to find some kind of meaning. So you have to visit your childhood. What enjoyed you there? You have to start doing it now in whatever age you are there in, or whatever phase of age you are there in this particular disorder. So if you find some such kind of hobby, some kind of such yeah, and particular some kind of like a hobby and things which you have enjoyed in past, you can get along very nicely in this particular, because this particular disorder has some kind of positive effects also. We get a lot of creativity there. Here we are able to think differently about the world. Lot of point of views we have, so we are able to create things. That is why I would like people to have proper medication and enjoy life by mingling with your memories and enjoying your favorite hobbies and etc.
And have you ever suffered from writer's block while writing your poetry?
Yes, yes. Yeah, I have like sometime like this. This would happen. What next should I think about? What would fit in the next verse would fit into? So I would sometimes leave this poetry halfway and wake up in the morning and then start writing again. And yes, this happens that we have some kind of block there. While we are not able to have a proper like flow, and that we will just finish it in 1 hour. We have to have some. It might take like 2 or 3 days to write a poem, or sometimes a week to write a poem. But this happens.
And what's next for your book, sir? Are you writing any more poems?
Yes, yes. I'm writing another poetry collection, and it's centered around space, like stars, moon, star, and space things like sun and all. Everything in the space, I'll be writing about it, because I was always quite interested in space. So I would like have some kind of emotional experiences, and which I would like to be expressed through my poetry. And another book I'm trying to work, which I don't give guarantees I will be able to complete, is about art of finding meaning in the life. That I have something I have learned from various of my sources, like this world, these books, and this everything that I observe here and there. I've learned a lot from it, and I find finally a meaning in living the poetry, like reading them, writing them. So I found finally the meaning. I'm very happy. I'm leading a very happy life now. So that is how something might happen to other people in some other field of life. but they have to have some kind of connection with their
Yes.
inner being, that is the meaning.
Yes, sir. So I'm very excited for your next book, and I definitely pray that you will complete it. I don't have any kind of doubt that you
Yes.
will not be able to complete
Thank you.
your book. It will be a great honor to interview you again, sir. And is there anything else that I haven't included in the interview that you would like to add?
Yes, you have almost completed, included everything, but I would like people to read more and more. That's something I have not mentioned
Yes.
in this interview, but I would like people to read more and more. There are a lot of publishers there. Astitva Prakashan is doing a
Yes.
lot of publishing a lot of books from children to adults, for everyone. And yes, reading takes you to
Yes.
different worlds. And if you can explore in one life, if you are reading 100 books, you are living 100 lives. That's what I believe. So I want people to read more and more. And yes, they can read also poetry and story books and yes, short story books and everything. There are a lot of literature there. They can read, and yes, they will be able to have a lot of experiences known to them, and they will able to live many lives in one life.
Yes, sir. So it was a great experience to interview you, sir. And thank you so much for your time. And I hope I get to interview you in the future. And thank you for your valuable time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.